What's going on? My name is Jadon, and today we're going to be talking about the reason why you don't eat clean is because of your childhood habits. Now, a lot of people have had parents who are always working, and when you were younger, after school or before school, you would get fed food that's processed. Now, whether that be dinner meals, whatever the cafeteria is giving you in middle school, high school, but you see the food that you're eating, it's not nutritional. Now, I remember back then it was either, so I remember a president, I think Michelle or Barack Obama, and stated that he wanted to have healthier food, cleaner food. And then see like cafeteria food, there's like so many memes on the internet of food and how it looks so bad. The frozen pizzas, the peas, the processed hot dogs and hamburgers. And they're like, this is healthy. You see the food pyramid looks really good. You look very bad because the food that you're actually eating, especially when you were a younger kid developing and growing, didn't help you in any way, shape, or form. I'm sure you probably did some exercise and you had a recess, but whenever you didn't have recess, you want to go eat, whether that be a snack, you would see no change in your physique. Now, you're a kid, right? You're growing as a person, and maybe in high school, you start to see yourself coming to fruition in terms of puberty ending, you developing, your physique growing as well, especially people who are trying to stay in shape, hitting the gym, people who did sports in high school, middle school, and college. You see the food that's being given to you and the food that's being shown right now, it looks bad, and it is bad too. Sometimes my family didn't cook because I came from a traditional household. They gave me some dinner meals, some frozen foods, and I ate it and I just felt so bloated. And eat the food, it's just frozen dinner meals. And then you got to think about it like this. Some people don't always come from traditional households, so whenever they actually eat that food, you can see them look trash. And would it be necessarily their fault? I would say, actually, I would think that it's probably the parent's fault, because the parent has to go to work, make the money, put the food on the table. But in order to actually feed the child, they would just give them just a bunch of garbage. The parent doesn't really necessarily care. They just say, oh, this is sustenance. I'm going to give it to my kid. The kid's going to eat it and the kid will be fine. The kid will be okay, right? But the kid grows up, the kid doesn't have any dense bones, doesn't have any muscle, just a lot of fat, undisciplined, unhealthy, continuing to do so, snacking on meals and dinner, frozen foods. And because of those childhood habits that they were eating, all that food that they were eating, they grow up and they start to have the same type of habits as adults. And developing as a kid, your habits will go on to adulthood. Unless that stuff gets straightened and fixed out, those habits will go on to adulthood. Most people, the things that you've done as a kid, those habits, maybe biting your nails, picking your lips, habit I had, I used to pick this dead skin off my lips, and I cut it out when I got older. And if you just correlate that to what you're eating, those habits that are the bad habits that you're building, that your parents, I wouldn't say teach you per se, but what you grew up around is what you're going to be doing is when you get older. And that's not for everybody, but that's for most people, because most human beings, like I said, are undisciplined and lazy. And unless you change it, you're not going to see any results in your physique, in your mentality, or whatever you're trying to accomplish. And I've always said this, and I will say it again, you need to eat cleaner. Because of the food that you ate as a child, doesn't mean if it was bad frozen dinner meals and all those frozen dinner meals were just a bunch of processed BS, that doesn't mean that you should do it right now. And because these people are growing up into adulthood, they're adults. Say, for example, they want to have kids and they're just repeating that process all over and over and over again. It's like, Jesus, you just have a whole family tree just full of glutton and slobs. I'm just going to say it like that because I'll keep it real. People are either fat slobs or skinny fat or super skinny. You have to be in shape. You have to be able to run, lift weights, take care of yourself, and take care of your physique. If you take care of your physique, it just broadens the spectrum to many other things that you could do. And it all starts with eating. You are what you eat, right? That's like saying, it is true. If you're eating a bunch of frozen dinner meals, which is just a bunch of processed BS and garbage, your body's going to eventually turn into that. Your cells, the whole entire internal organs or everything are just I've always seen a thing where it says that your internal organs rebuild itself, it repairs itself every single year. Shit that you were years ago, like you are a completely different human being. You may have the same DNA in a way, but you have a completely different body. You've shed so much dead skin. Your bones have developed and grown. Your cells have changed. The old broken down cells are just reabsorbed. Your whole body has changed. And if your body is changing and developing and you're eating garbage food because your body needs energy to remake itself, that's why you think that's why you're just a fat slob or you're a skinny, fat, undisciplined person. Now, the best way to break the habits, especially being in the childhood, is slowly getting off of it. I've always said that I like to do the cold turkey method, but not a lot of people are like that. So you slowly break off of it. If, for example, you want to have a bag of chips every single day or every other day, right? You would have it once a week for a month. Then actually, let's do it like this. Let's be more realistic. Twice a week for the whole entire month, right? Then the next month, once a week. Then the next month, just none. Like you slowly get off of it. Dinner meals or whatnot, processed foods as well, pizza, hot dogs, hamburgers, just like you name it. Fast food, frozen dinner meals. It's not healthy. It's always, for the most part, it's processed BS. But I'm very glad because I think nowadays you're seeing a lot of billboards where it says organic, healthy, nutritional. It's super good. Now, for the most part, it probably is, which I'm very grateful for. I'm very grateful that companies, instead of selling you garbage, artificial BS, is actually selling you healthier food so you can continue to get stronger in the gym, get stronger mentally because you are what you eat, and have a healthy lifestyle overall. And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for that. But you see the slight change. It's slowly starting to happen. In my city, it's slowly starting to happen. Like Philadelphia, I'll be honest, I don't really see much change in people. Like regardless of what these companies are selling you or selling to people nowadays, if you're not a health nut like that, most of these people, you just see them. Every time I go into a local store, I see them and I'm just like, these people are older than me and they look like this. And they would use the excuse of not being in their 20s or I'm not as young as how I used to be lazier. It's like, no, man, no. I know family members right now, people, friends right now who are in shape, older than me, in shape, takes care of themselves. And you have no excuse. We all have 24 hours in a day. You have no excuse at all. You need to eat cleaner, you need to eat healthier, break out of those habits that you had especially when you were a child. And don't use those child habits as an excuse to eat bad. You shouldn't use that. You shouldn't use any excuse like that to eat bad. Oh, because of what happened in the past, that is the reason why I'm going to continue to do so for this. Now, this is correlating with eating. And just certain things that happened in the past that you can't change. But this is what I'm talking. Well, but what I'm talking about is eating. So before anyone starts to talk about, or anyone starts to say, oh, I can't change this in the past. No, I'm talking about eating and how you ate. There's a show that's called My 600-Pound Life. And there's this lady, she died at the age of 30. And people are like, how did this happen? I'm like, send the asteroid. What do you mean, how did this happen? She's 30-something years old, 600 pounds, and she passed away. What do you really expect? Your heart can't handle all that pressure. And your body needs so much maintenance and energy in order to withhold the weight that you are. 600 pounds? What do you really expect? If she had a clean and healthier diet, she would have lived longer. And she was probably on the process to doing so, but it's too far gone. And I guarantee you, when she was healthier, I guarantee you, see, she were to eat healthier and actually be on a disciplined diet plan. I guarantee she'll see results. And she slowly started to lose weight, right? I don't know this per se. I saw it on like a YouTube short, right? And not everything you see on the internet is real, but she did pass away. That is real. She worked a little bit and she was on her way, but for some reason, it's just too far gone. You shouldn't have gotten that big in the first place. I don't know what her life story is or whatnot, so I'm not going to judge her. Maybe something happened in the past. That's no excuse. I have buddies of mine who have had tragic things happen to them, and these guys are in tip-top shape, eating the right healthy food. You need to eat clean. You are what you eat. You need to eat cleaner. People need to eat healthier. Break out of those habits. And if you have questions for it, you can DM me on social media, whether that be Instagram, TikTok. You can say it in the comments below so I can help you out. I can try to show you a broader spectrum and a better light to the lifestyle that you live. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. DM me the word diet on either TikTok or Instagram for a free consultation and we could talk. And I charge $20 a week for a weekly meal plan, customly made for you for the physique that you're trying to get in the realistic time frame that you can get it in. Like I said, guys, make sure you share it with your family. I'm doing $20 a week, $50 a month. So it would be smarter if you pay for the $50 a month, because for a whole entire 4 weeks, I'm giving you a custom meal plan. And at the end of every single weekend, I check up on you to see your progress and how you're doing. I make sure that you're tracking your calories, you're tracking your goals, you're tracking your meals, and we're going to see a change in your physique. I hope you guys get in shape, especially on Bodygame. That's something that you want to be on, male or female. All right, guys, enjoy. Share with your friends, share with your people. Anyone that's trying to get in shape, I do like legitimate consultations, video calls, texting, whatever, if you're shy. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one. Peace.